Okay, so, it is very important to see your life as an holistic life. We want to have soul success, not basically career success, not only career success or not only the relationship success. We want to have holistic soul success. And I promised you to share a story from my own life, and just gonna have some coffee with that. But I wanted to share a story because, in the beginning, when I got pretty successful, people said to me like, oh, be careful, like when you have all the money but there's no one around to share it with. And I was like, blah, blah, blah. Like I've never really experienced that. I was like, I'm not really gonna experience that until like, I think it was in 2002, I was really working really, really hard to like get in shape, to be like the best model I can be. I was really preparing myself for Fashion Week because I used to be a model, and I think most of you do know this. I used to be a model. I was really, really successful, and actually still am. I still do modeling, but I just do it next to this business because I don't know, I kind of love the difference, and to have the balance, and to flourish not only in this business and not only in this career, but also in that other career as well. So that's what I really love. But so I was really working so hard. I was not and I can be very strict to myself. I can be very disciplined, I was working out twice a day most of the time. I was holding myself back in, going on vacation because I wanted to be like as pale as possible. And you could say, I think that it was a pretty strict thing to do, but I really wanted to go for it. I was like, I really wanted to try this Fashion Week thing one more time properly, because the thing is, if you really dare to go for it, then you got the full experience. If you're not really 100% going for it, you're always like, meh, what if, what if I really went for it? And doing things half-assed doesn't really work. Well, at least not for me. If you're doing things half-assed, then it's if you're doing things half-assed, you're basically making your life a 50% instead of 100%. So I set my mind to it. I was like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to do like another big fashion show. And so I was working out, taking care of my body, doing all the right photo shoots, like getting myself out there, making sure, I did all the preparation work for that Fashion Week. And it was a lot of work. I mean, you can ask like my boyfriend. I was doing it also with my mind. I was doing it like it was a full-time job, basically. So I was like really all in. I was like, I'm gonna go for it. I'm really gonna give it a shot one more time. And in the end, I was there, and I don't know, it was like a magical story though, because I did do Milan. I did do, because you have like all the 4 fashion weeks in a row. First you have New York, then you have London, then you have Milan, and then you have Paris. And I planned with my management that we would pick Milan and we would pick Paris. So I was doing Milan. I was doing Milan Fashion Week, was doing all the castings and really getting myself out there and stuff like that. But it didn't really work out, and I was like pretty disappointed. because I worked so hard for it, and I was like, and we were actually doubting. I was actually doubting with my manager, like, it didn't really go well. Should we do Paris or should we skip it and, take the next season? But like something in my gut said, like, just try Paris and just see how it goes. Now you've already had this whole journey, so why not stay? So that was like my intuition telling me. While other models, by the way, it's really normal to actually, if you didn't do anything in Milan, the most normal thing is to actually go back home, because all the casting directors have already seen you, and it hasn't taken its it hasn't been successful. So I think like 95% of the models would actually decide to go home after that. But like a voice inside of me said, like, try Paris and just see how that goes. And actually, when I arrived, like I took the flight from Milan to Paris, and the moment I opened up my phone and put it off on flight mode, I got an email like, you're booked for the Balmain fashion show. And I was like, oh my God, like intuition is such a real thing. So that was so funny, so I went straight from the airport. I went straight into the Balmain headquarters. And did the show eventually. I walked the show twice. It was a double show. It was amazing. But after that, it was really interesting. I went back home and I actually felt so sad. I was like, wow, I've given up so much for this, and now it's actually happening. And that's, I kind of get emotional from that, but because I felt like it wasn't worth it. And at the same time, I was so grateful that I still did it, because otherwise I wouldn't have known this. But I felt really empty because I didn't have someone to share it with, because I was all alone in Paris. And I did have some friends there, but they were all, they weren't like really, really close friends that enjoyed the journey before and that you were really close to. So I was really missing like the people back at home, or I was missing like a celebration moment that, I was feeling lonely in that moment. And I was really like, was this all worth it? And that's how your mind works as well when you're lonely. Like when you're actually, sad, and it was really empty, to be honest, because I did all the work. And to be honest, I think I had this goal in mind, and I think it would change me when I would achieve it, when I would accomplish this big, big goal of mine. And then I did accomplish it, and it felt empty. And I really don't say to discourage you from taking the goals, but I do encourage you to have a harmonious life and to really enjoy the journey. Because what I did, I didn't enjoy the journey. I was so strict with myself. I didn't enjoy it. And that's like such a shame. So what I learned from that is to, have this wheel of life that is really important, because my relationship was, it wasn't really suffering from that, but I was just really missing. And what I discovered, so I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did it, because only because I really went 100% for it did I get the full experience, did I get the full lessons. If you do things half-assed, you're not going to get the full lessons, you're just going to get the half lessons as well. And you're always like, What did that mean? What should I learn from this? But this was like so crystal clear. This was so crystal clear what I should learn from this. And I think that's also like the beautiful thing about it, that now I know that I really crave the relationship stuff as well. I really crave the emotional. I really love to do things with other people and to have my family and friends and boyfriend with me, you know. Yeah. So what I want you to take from this video is, one, to really go for it, because then you have the full experience and then you have the full essence. So don't do things half-ass. Have the full experience, really go for it, and then revision what you could do wrong. But first take the action. First take the 100% full action. Second is the feelings of connectedness. So, don't take your career as the only thing in your life, because it's not, and you will remain empty if you have no one to share it with, if you have no one to be on the path with you. And that doesn't mean that some of the life purposes, you have a lot of alone time, and you have a lot of, writing a book, for example, that's a big thing that you do alone. But if you don't have the friends, family, partners in your life that can support you, that know your journey, it can feel very lonely. So that is really something that you can, take in mind and maybe want to consider. Because I really don't want you to feel empty after realizing a goal. Because when you feel empty, it actually means that you didn't do it in a way that was authentic to you. You didn't do it in a way that was joyful to you. You didn't do it for the journey, for the growth, it was actually, if I look back at it, and I think that's for most people, sometimes we do so much from our fear-based mind. We're gonna hop into that in the next module, but we're doing so much from our fear-based mind that, and I did that too. Like in that moment, I was really fearful, I think. I was really fearful that, I know, was funny. What was I? So I was very, yeah. Okay, I hope you enjoy it. I was very fearful. You need to know the difference between reaching a goal in a fearful way or reaching a goal in an abundant way. And you want to take that abundant way. So yeah, we're really gonna heal that as well, because I've taken that whole journey as well. So we're gonna do that in this course as well. I don't want you to feel empty after realizing your goals. I want you to feel like, this is what I'm here for. This is with whom I want to share it with, and I am holistically successful. That's what I want you to feel. All right. Thank you for listening, and